All right, our next game, guys, Saints-Bears. I think the Bears are the only I was reading the Bears are the only team this year to score 21-plus points in every game they played. Ben Johnson has totally revitalized this offense. And DeAndre Swift, who we say almost every week, Jay, is always left for dead, just continues to get the job done.
Yep, this is a team now defined by its running game. That's what they've really leaned into. A really disappointing game, fantasy-wise, from Caleb Williams, but DeAndre Swift, the capacity for both him and Monangai to perform this way in the same game, wouldn't have expected that. Now, they're not going up against much of my former flame in the New Orleans Saints. We'll also see a lot of this accumulation has been against very suspect defenses and suspect teams overall. And, you know, they play in the NFC North. They're going to play the Lions and the Packers a bit going forward. But overall, very positive for DeAndre Swift. And his schedule the rest of the way is still pretty favorable.
Yeah, I mean, Baltimore and Cincinnati are the next two, then the Giants at Minnesota. So it starts to get a little bit tougher. But the next two are brilliant. Now, listen, DeAndre Swift plays 52% of the snaps, and 2 of his 3 lowest snap share games have been each of the last 2 weeks. Now, he came into this game questionable. He had a groin injury. It was sort of a game-time decision. Obviously, he played well, but maybe that is one of the reasons why Monangai had a big game here. The most usage he's had all year, 17.4 fantasy points. And, Connor, could you see a scenario? We like Monangai. We've talked about him quite a bit on this show. Could you see a scenario where, again, you know, the Bears are sitting there, they're 4-2. They're starting to think about, like, hey, we might have a shot at this thing. Like, there's a very real scenario. They're 6-2, right? And, you know, they've got Baltimore and Cincinnati, or they split those, right? And they're 5-3. So thinking about that, do you think there's a scenario where one of the reasons why you like Monangai was like, look, this could easily be Jahmyr Gibbs, Dave Montgomery, you know, the Chicago version of those two guys. Not that Swift is Gibbs or even the Monangai could be Montgomery, but, you know, the dime store version of those two guys, right?
I think down the road it can be. The only thing I look at from this game is Monangai had 13 carries. 6 of them were in the fourth quarter when they were just trying to get the game over with because Swift came into the game banged up. He was banged up all week. He's been banged up this season. So this game specifically feels like one where don't react and say, oh, Monangai has standalone value. I have Swift on a lot of teams. I picked up Monangai over the last 2 weeks when Swift has been hurt as a premium handcuff. I don't think he has standalone value right now.
He doesn't have it right now, but he could. So that's what I'm asking. Is that
he's talented enough.
We'll talk about it more tomorrow on the Waiver Wire show. But I think he's an interesting grab and stash. Obviously, if you have Swift, but even if you don't, because you can see a scenario where he plays himself into a role. Again, you think about Ben Johnson's time in Detroit. He was able to effectively use 2 running backs, and where Swift is getting banged up because he's been used so much. So you could see a scenario where they say, like, you know what, let's try to get the kid Monangai into more of a rotation so that Swift isn't touching the ball 25 times a game.
It's good that they trust him. They clearly do. For a 7th-round pick, Monangai was getting key reps over summer, and now he's getting at least somewhat key reps in real NFL games.
He's clearly past Roschon Johnson on the depth chart.
By a mile, it feels like right now. On the other side of this game, really the only news around the Saints, you just have to ask yourself, Matthew, is it time to bench Alvin Kamara? I mean, he's RB31 going into Monday Night Football.
I mean, if there was a positive here, he did get 3 targets. But, he's been banged up. Now, he will be outside my top 20 next week against Tampa Bay. Unless... Now, we're going to talk about this when we get to the injuries, but Kendre Miller got banged up in this game. And so, there's a chance that Kamara just has to get massive workload next week because they don't have Kendre Miller against the Buccaneers. Since week 3, he's running back 34 on a points-per-game basis. He's been held under 13 fantasy points now in 5 straight games. He's had only 2 games this year with more than 75 yards from scrimmage. And just to the eye test, kind of looks done. He kind of looks, he's definitely not as explosive as Kendre Miller in this offense. And again, he might have been done last year. We just didn't notice or care because he was this PPR cheat code because Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave were both out, and Taysom Hill, and literally he was all they had. Yep. But now those 2 guys are healthy. Kendre Miller is starting to pop, and it just, if the passing game usage isn't there, he's never been a big touchdown scorer. The passing game usage isn't there, and the massive workload isn't there. Again, he had, he got 14 touches in this game, and a game in which the Saints were competitive.
Yeah.
Like they weren't blown out of this game. Like they had a chance.
This is what the Saints do every week.
Yeah.
It feels like
They hang around.
That's what's more concerning about Kamara. You don't
Yeah.
look at the Saints going, oh, they're out of the script again.
Yeah.
Kamara is now 4 beers start. If you know, you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, John Dangerly.
Good
I'd
Sunday
want 4
morning
beers.
reference. Yeah. I mean, Kamara's 30 years old right now with a significant workload. Like, if he's starting to slow down, we shouldn't be like, oh my God. It's not like Todd Gurley at 25.
No, he's in the phase where you kind of expect him to be on the Ravens in a year. Right? That's the kind of
But
successor.
it really seems like he doesn't want to go
No,
anywhere.
he doesn't. No, he'll be on the Saints because that's where he wants to.
Right.
And good for him if he wants to do that.
Pretty
It's just
rare
that,
nowadays.
He's not going to be in contention.
He's a Southern kid. I believe he went to Tennessee.
Yes.
Right? And so he's been with the Saints his entire career.
Yeah.
If you're going to live in an NFL city, New Orleans is,
I love
a
New
top
Orleans.
5.
Lovely
top,
city.
It's an amazing
We had a great
city.
time during the Super Bowl last year.
Yes, of course. Like, where's he going?
We had too much fun.
Oh, my God. We had a lot of fun. Yeah, we did.
So, yeah, I don't think Alvin Kamara's going anywhere.
No.
I think the big running back that'll be moved to the deadline is Breece Hall. And I've said that for the last 2 weeks. I almost expect that one to happen. We'll see.
Yeah.
If they get a reasonable pick, like a fourth, third round.
Or a
All right.
quarterback.
Yeah, hey, sure, we'll take Brock Purdy for Breece Hall. You play Mac Jones the rest of the year.
Honestly, you should take Matt Jones for Breece Hall.
I would. I'd say sure.
Or you know what you should do? You say, tell you what, we will give you Breece Hall, but you have to take Justin Fields with you. Just eat his contract.
Yes. And then we'll drive both of them there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the deal?
For Justin Fields.
Okay.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.